I'm getting really tired of stupid Christians. I don't usually go this far, but I got to talk about it today. Hold on. Pastor Bob Daly coming up next. Well, today's going to be a bit controversial, and I usually don't talk about issues that are pertinent just to the United States, except I think the whole world is watching this one, and I have an international audience, so I decided to rant a little bit. And, you know, folks, I'm really tired of Christians being stupid. By the way, I'm on that stupid list, just in case you think I'm talking about everybody and not including myself. I'm included too. I get tired of me being stupid sometimes as well. I hope this podcast isn't one of those. But I have to tell you what's on my heart. We have a new champion in the faith, Kim Davis, who refuses to give a marriage license to a gay couple. And it's her legal duty as an elected official to uphold the laws of the United States. So rather than resign, which she should have done if she feels strongly about it, which is what we do here in the United States, she decided to champion her belief system within her job. Now, she should have resigned. Okay. But she didn't, and now she's back to work, and she's still refusing, and we're still dealing with it, and Christians everywhere are starting to come out of the woodwork and kind of weigh in on the whole thing, some for, some against. She has some people that are championing her cause that I'm pretty surprised about, actually, that I don't think should. What kind of person is she? Well, you know, you can say, well, she was this before she was a Christian and now she's this, and I have a lot of people that say, well, you know, I kind of struggled a long time with my Christian faith, and then I got right with the Lord, and then I started, you know, there's all kinds of things, and people can qualify their past mistakes religiously as well. She's been married 4 times. She believed in the sanctity of marriage the first time. What about the other 3? And how does that translate? The sanctity of marriage, if she doesn't believe in it herself. And again, people say, well, that's before she was a Christian and now she's a Christian, and okay. But we continue to miss the points here. We continue to. I have a friend that is very anti-abortion, which I am as well. And he works very hard in championing the cause. And currently living with his girlfriend. They're not married. And having sex outside of marriage. I wonder how we justify that, and what makes him feel righteous about his attack on abortion, and he's violating this other area that's kind of serious. You know, babies are made that way, just in case you didn't know. And if you're going to talk about abortion, you have to talk about all of that, not just part of it. So, you see, we continue to celebrate sinners. We celebrate them. I would imagine that at some point, Kim Davis is going to do the church circuit. I would imagine she will. Churches will pay her money to come and talk about everything she's been through, you know, how she suffered for Christ in jail, all of that. We continue to do that. And I can't tell you how many times people have invited me to churches to hear somebody's story about how bad they were before they became a Christian, or before they got serious about their faith, or before whatever it is. I have never had that kind of story, by the way. I've been a Christian since I was very young. I don't have a huge backsliding story to tell, although I've had my own problems through the years, obviously. But I've never once been invited to share my testimony of how God keeps us. We only want to hear the bad stuff, and so we glorify the sin, and then we preach against it. And we forget that Christ died for our sin, that sin isn't the thing we should be preaching anyway, and that holiness is really the name of the game, and we forget about the holiness aspect of it. You know, we need to let Jesus fix us before we try to fix other people. We need to allow him to fix those things in us that cause us to be double-minded like this. None of these people are heroes. They're not my heroes. I hope they're not yours. I don't celebrate sin. I feel badly that people have had to go through things in their past life, but I don't want to glorify it by putting them on stage and talking about how bad they were and how good they are now. There's nobody that's good. And I think, folks, that we really have to get this straight. If you're championing these causes, then make sure that you're living the life. Before you try to fix everybody around you, before you jump on these bandwagons, would you begin to fix you first? Because we're the ones that need fixing. And folks, I think if you have that mentality, there are very few bandwagons that you'll jump on from now on. Again, people are just sinning a little differently than you are, but you still are. I hope, folks, that we get this one day. I hope the world stops seeing us as self-righteous bigots and begins to see love in our hearts. And there are some times when I'm so ashamed to call myself a Christian, simply because the way that so many Christians portray the faith. And I've really thought about this. What else can I call myself? How can I identify myself differently than calling myself a Christian? And some of you, I'm sure, will have ideas for me in comments, and that's fine. But it's sad when I have to think about that. When I have to think, I don't want to say that I'm a Christian, because does that identify with me with Kim Davis and all the others that I really don't agree with? Or can people see my humanity and the love of Christ in me and the fact that he's the one that keeps me going? Can they see that? Can they honestly see the hope that's in me enough to ask me questions about that hope? And am I really living a life of love and compassion, or am I living a life of judgment and bigotry? And folks, these are really difficult times, and I think we have some difficult times ahead. What is the cure for them? Fixing the economy? That would help. Fixing the way we look at things? That would help. But the biggest thing that would help, listen, is fixing Christians. Because, folks, if we really started loving unconditionally, if we really believed the love that the Bible portrays and lived it, we'd turn this world around. Well, I've ranted, but I believe it very strongly. God bless you. Have a great day.